Here is a page on eBay you might want to check out called How eBay Advertising Attribution Works, i.e. how do they attribute advertising potential fees and costs to the seller on eBay. So here is the URL. You can see right there. But you can just search eBay attribution and it should pop up. I actually just put in eBay promoted listings attribution and the page popped up there. So this is so you can check it out for yourself, but there were some changes. Now here's the change right here. So I was just going to read that part without pretty quickly, just so I can read it to you, because everyone learns differently. Some people learn by listening, some people learn by reading, some people learn by doing, etc. So this is starting on June 24th of this year. So this is items listed on in the UK, Australia, France, Italy, and Spain. So this does not affect the US. However, this already started in Germany, and now they're doing it here, or they're going to do it in those countries. Starting June 24th, which is in about a month. Now, typically when eBay rolls out stuff like this in other countries, it tends to hit the US at some point in the future, depending on how it goes in the other countries. So there's no guarantee this will happen in the US, but just so you know what's going on, it might happen. So let me just read it real quick. It says, eBay will report an attributed sale. So basically attributed sale, it just means that a sale that you got from a general campaign. General campaign is a promoted listing. So if you promote your listing individually, so if you have a book you're selling, you promote 5%, 2%, 10%, 20%, whatever. If it sells through that promoted listing, they will charge you that percentage. They'll take that percentage of the sale for themselves. So eBay will report an attributed sale from a general campaign when a buyer purchases the same item that was featured in the ad that was clicked on by any buyer in the most recent 30 days. So it's a rolling 30-day period. The ad fee is charged when a buyer purchases the promoted item from a general ad that any buyer clicked on in the most recent 30 days. Any buyer. The item must be promoted at the time of click and the time of sale. The ad fee is based on the ad rate in effect at the time of the sale. So what does that mean? Basically means if you have, so these are these are recent video games that I bought in the store. I just thought I'd use it as an example. If you were gonna, let's see. So typing this into eBay right here on the web, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Xbox, etc. When you scroll down here, the first one I see is sponsored. You can see sponsored. That means it's promoted. Sponsored. Sponsored. That one's not, etc. And then here, as you go down further, it'll say, picked for you, top selling items from you trusted sellers, sponsored, etc. So some of these could be the general, as it's called, general campaign strategy. They could also be priority campaign strategy, but either or, they're promoted. And essentially, they're saying, if you're looking for this and you click on, if a buyer clicks on this one, then within 30 days, if any other buyer buys that from that seller is going to get charged, let's say they have it at 5%, is going to get charged that promoted listing fee of 5%. Even if someone found it on Google or ended up finding their listing without it being promoted. So if you didn't know, if you promote a listing, you have two, right? There's one that's promoted and there's one that's not promoted. I don't know if I'm going to find that same person, JSH, with the same photo, but you have two listings. One of them is promoted, one of them is not. And so someone can click on either one of those. So I sell stuff in the store, in my eBay store, that is promoted. Some of my stuff sells either through the promoted listing or through the normal non-promoted listing. So even if I'm promoting something at let's say I'm promoting this just as an example, 5%, I'm going to put this in my in my retail store here, but if I was selling this for $20, whatever, 5% promoted rate, I would have one listing of 20%, one listing that's promoted or sponsored, another one that's not. So if they clicked on the one that's not promoted, I don't get charged. If they clicked on the one that's promoted, I get charged. So basically this new rule is saying if someone clicks on my listing that's promoted, but they don't buy it, within the next 30 days, someone else finds my listing and buys it, whether it was whether that item was or whether it was clicked on through a promotion or not, you still as the seller have to pay the promotion fee. So your item sold, right? It's just that eBay is going to get extra money even if someone Googled it or someone found it some other way or just found it on eBay, but it wasn't the sponsored one. It wasn't the promoted one. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, raise your hand because then it means I didn't explain it right. But hopefully it makes sense. And it's only happening in those 5 countries, or I guess it's already happened in Germany, but it's a way for eBay to try to make more money. Does it help us as the seller, or does it punish us rather? I mean, yeah, in a sense, because if I'm selling that item, they're going to take 10 or 5%, even though eBay didn't help me get that sale through the promoted listing. They're going to still charge me the 5% because someone clicked on it, even though they didn't buy it within the last 30 days. Does that make sense? So is it a bad thing? I mean, yeah, if you are selling low profit items, and if you are promoting them with really high promotion percentages. As I've told you before, I only promote my items between 2 and 5%. And then if they've been sitting a long time and I'm already doing a discount, well, that's different. Then I'll just do a discount. But I'll do a discount sale. But that's generally what I do. I have in the past done 7%, even as high as 9%. That's the most I've done for a brand new listing. But generally, my entire eBay career, since they started offering promoted listings, I've done between 10 and 7%. And now I do between 10 and 5%. So 2% if it's like something that I feel is going to sell pretty quickly. But, that 2% promoted rate might help it sell faster. But then oftentimes it'll sell without it being promoted. So anyway, this is kind of like one of those ways that's not like a deal breaker for me, or I don't think it should be for anybody that is really selling items that are higher value, higher profit. And I would say at least $30, $40 or more of the sale price. Let's say $20 and up profit. You should be fine, even if this ends up hitting the US. Now, if you're promoting items at 25, 30%, and then it gets hit with that, even though it didn't sell through a promoted listing, the person that ended up clicking on it and buying it didn't click on the promoted listing, they clicked on the non-promoted listing. Yeah, it might hurt a little bit. I mean, you get the sale, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't see it as a big deal. Again, if you're selling very low profit, slow moving items, or most of your store is discounted, and then you have really high promoted listing percentages, yes, it's going to hurt. But I don't recommend running your store like that. So front load your store with quality items. What's quality? Higher profit, faster moving. Long tails are fine as far as I'm concerned if they're over like $40, $50 that they're going to sell for. So I don't think this is really that big a deal, but it's just good to know because eBay is probably not going to make a big deal about it and make a big announcement about it. And they're just trying to grab some more money, unfortunately. And it happens, but we will see if it ends up coming to the US. Let me know what you think about it. And here's another reason why it helps to have, people looking out for you. Because I made the mistake of not realizing that this comic, Batman the Killing Joke, is a first printing from 1988. The reason why somebody would know is because the lettering is in green, and this indicates the first printing. And I put this out in my store for $9, not realizing somehow I made a mistake that's more of like a $40 to $60 item depending on the condition. It could be even more if it was graded. And this is in great shape actually. So I'm going to list it on eBay for $50, taking offers. Actually, not taking offers. And then all of these I told you about, the Walt Disney Treasures. Unfortunately, they were pretty beat up, the tins. A lot of them have scratches and or dents. Scratches or dents or sort of like rusting here that won't come out. So you can see they're pretty beat up. But regardless, I'm going to list them for, some lots for good money. Like that one's for $35, this one's for $100. The Pluto one goes for good money. Mickey Mouse, not that much money, but I will list it. This one goes for better money if it wasn't so beat up. I mean, look at that. Mickey Mouse in black and white. And then this one, Chronological Donald, would go for more. They're just pretty beat up, guys. They were even a little sticky, which is gross. That came from actually, that came from the most recent and the final donation from the person who gave me the 20 boxes of books. So anyway, just thought I'd let you know. And then I got some more video games I talked about that I'm pricing out for my store. So I'm going to go home and list all of that. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not a ton, but it'll take me a little while to list them because of the damage. I got to note all of that. I already took photos of them. But I'm glad that I got them. It's just they were a pain to clean. So now I'm glad, although I still have this stack, but I don't think there's much value in there. Those are kids' DVDs. We will see. I just have that to go through, and then I'm done with the dirty stuff. But yeah, I'm glad that even though it was great donations, that they were very dusty. Some stuff was moldy, water damage, and I'm glad to move on from that, even though it was awesome. And I'm still selling stuff from those donations. It's very unusual, though, for stuff to be that dirty or stained or marked up or scratched or whatever, usually even in donations. That's not true. I mean, there are some donations that are pretty rough shape, so it always depends, but in general, they're not that bad. So, but that's fine, considering how many sales I've gotten on eBay and how much good stuff I'm putting out in the store from that donation. So anyway, I added that at the end of the video, but let me know if you're still here watching it, what you think about the whole eBay thing. I don't think it's that big a deal if you're selling the right stuff. All right, see you in the next video. Take care.